Suit. All right. What's up, Will?
How you doing, Wilkes?
Welcome back, people. This is in my house, so my cat, one of my cats, is on the table. She's very excited about this, as am I. I didn't have an intro for this at all, because you know what? I don't need one for you, buddy.
Man that needs no introduction.
Pull that thing close. Pull that thing close. Oh, there's my other cat.
Okay, we got two guest speakers.
We got a cat party. Yeah. So, okay, this is Big Boy, the black and white one. This is Teeny number 2. Number 2 because we already had a Teeny. So, well, you know what? You know what, Will? We're going to do some ads, buddy. That's
ads?
What we're going to do.
All
we're going to do some ads right now. Because we have the greatest sponsors in the history of sponsorship on this podcast, and we got to tell the world about them, okay? So, the first sponsor for today's video, and... Okay. You know what? If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see, obviously, the cats are everywhere, but I'm going to move that right there.
This one's chewing the wire.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, this is an absolute mess. Okay, either way, if you can see this, you understand, but if you can't, I have cats everywhere around on this table that Will and I are sitting on, if you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify. So I apologize to any viewers, but honestly, it's kind of fun. All right, so the first sponsor, Will knows all the sponsors, so you know what? He's going to help me out a little bit, is Phone Hero. Phone Hero fixes your phones. I can't say it enough. I will say it every single time. They're the best. Ray, again, actually, you know what? You guys know Ray has had his phone fixed twice in 3 days by Phone Hero. It was not their fault. Ray broke it himself twice. But I, personally, have gotten my phone fixed at least 3 times over 3 separate phones, and they do it correctly every single time. Have you used them? You bought like a case from them or something, right?
Yeah, well, I'm a compulsive phone thrower. I like smashing my phone on the ground, preferably Gronk style. So
okay, so
I'm a regular there. They fixed me up for a good price.
Okay,
every time.
yeah. So you basically just have like a.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, you have a problem.
Yep.
Yeah. So go to phoneherotlh.com. I will link it in the description. They're not just gonna fix your broken phone. You can buy cases from them. You can buy phones from them, laptops. Austin's just a fantastic dude, and he's not gonna mess with you. I mean, really, at the end of the day, they're gonna do the right thing, and they're gonna do it the right way. So, like I like to say, don't take it to the mall. Take it to Phone Hero. I need to give him that slogan. Just give him the rights to it.
Yeah, let him have it.
Oh, also, if you hear weird sounds, it's probably my dog snoring. He's like the size of a small pony. Actually, no, he's probably bigger than a pony.
It's the biggest dog. I wish we could put him on camera because it's the biggest dog I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he's 170 pounds. I don't know. He's a Great Dane pit bull. Yeah. What were you thinking, Mom and Dad? Okay. Our next spot, again, use Phone Hero. They're the best. And you do not have to be located in they have a store in Tallahassee, but you do not have to be located in Tallahassee. You can order from their website, which is Phone Hero.
I did not know that.
TLH. Yes.
That's pretty good.
You can. I'm here to tell the world. Now, our next sponsor is Isabellas Pizza. Isabellas Pizza is a Neapolitan-style pizza place, and they're gasoline. I absolutely love eating there. I eat there way too much, probably a couple times. Not during the season, honestly, it gets like a couple times a week. I eat there quite a bit. You know, it's fast, it's easy. The customer service is amazing, and their food is absolutely delicious. Mikkel, who's the owner, is he might be my best friend. I don't know. I hang out with him all the time. But I'm very happy to have them on the podcast because I get to tell you guys about Isabellas. We've eaten it at Isabellas.
We've eaten it before. I just remember them with the crust. They've got that crust.
The crust.
It's the good crust.
I would have to agree.
They've got the best crust in town.
Oftentimes, you don't get a great crust on a flat pizza. You know what I mean? But they somehow they
make it work. It's the best of both worlds.
It's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So go to Isabellas. It's isabellaspn.com. They do not ship their pizza. It probably wouldn't be nearly as good. So if you're located in Tallahassee, go check them out. They don't just sell pizza. They got ice cream in there. They got all kinds of stuff. It's fantastic. So Isabellas PN, I will link that in the description as well. And on to our last sponsor, our newest sponsor, I'm very excited about, and I told you guys I'd show you their product in the YouTube video. If you're just listening, just, hey, bear with me, believe it. It's amazing. I told you I'd show you. I'm about to show you. It is Poppy's Candy Box. Boom, bombastic. Let me bear with me, listeners. I'm going to show this to the camera. You should definitely go check out my YouTube channel and subscribe. Will that pick it up, I wonder? No. Well, they get the idea. The Poppy's Candy Box is a box of candy. Actually, you want a piece of this?
Yeah, I think I might get one of these.
All right, so Poppy's Candy Box is a completely customized box of candy that you can get. They have 3 sizes: the large, which is $38, the medium, which is $28, the small, which is $18, and the mini, which is $8.50. Now, I have gone completely through a small, and I am about, I'd say halfway through the large, which maybe I'm not that proud about, but it's absolutely delicious, and I really can't. I'm a candy lover. What can I say? And they do ship. Okay, so that is a important thing that you need to know. They do ship, so you don't have to be located in Tallahassee. They will ship to you. And it's personalized. It's great for gifts, for parties, for I mean,
that's
for
what
anything.
I'm thinking of. Is if I want to send someone a gift, I'm sending them a Poppy's box, because when's the last time you've gone to the store and bought candy? Unless it's maybe Halloween. Well, it's easier to just ship the box.
Yeah, golly. My favorite part is that you can pick the candy that you want.
Oh, I didn't know that. It's customizable.
Yeah. So
okay.
I told when they were
they're 2 steps ahead already.
They're 2 steps ahead.
Okay.
So and there are a whole lot of those. One thing that I noticed, because I'm gonna give it to you honest here. I'm not just because they're sponsoring the podcast, I'm not going to lie for them, right? When I've had candy boxes like this before, and the candy is always stale, every time. And when I got this, it was not stale at all. So that is a huge thing for me, at least. And it stays fresh because of these boxes. Another thing that I like is that I can reuse these boxes.
It's a toolkit. It's a little toolkit right there.
It's literally a tackle box.
Oh yeah, tackle box. There you go.
As soon as it's not a candy box, it's a tackle box.
Yep.
And I absolutely love things like this. With compartments, I can organize things. I'm not an organized person, but I like to organize things. It doesn't make any sense, but you know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I do love about this. And again, it's Poppy's Candy Box. Check them out. You can order through email, which is poppyscandybox@gmail.com, or their Instagram and Facebook, which is @poppyscandybox. I will link all of that in the description. If I'm feeling frisky, I'll throw it up on screen if you're watching this on YouTube. If not, it's in the description. But use them. They're the best. I absolutely love it, and I will be definitely ordering in the future. All right, buddy.
Let's get down to it.
Well, Matthew's not here to walk into the past 2 podcasts. Matthew has just shown up.
Yeah, because you've been doing it in your living room.
Yeah. Walked in. Actually, my mother will probably walk in here eventually, but just shown up, walked in the door. People seem to like that. I don't know. There's the mailman right there. Let's see if the dogs bark.
If Matthew does walk through that door, it would be great.
It would be great. It'd be incredible.
Huge surprise, even to us. I feel like we're leading the listener on. Matthew's there might be a Matthew period.
Matthew's just hanging out in my backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. What have you been up to, man? Okay, so you're not coming back for another year, obviously. So
no, I'm done. I did my time. It was a good time. It was a long time, but I'm done. I'm gonna miss it a lot, but I don't know. 6 years is a lot more than 5 years. It's every year gets a little longer.
Yeah. People have been asking me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing my 5th tour of duty.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, come on, obviously, I love it, but 6 years. This is my 5th. 6 is. I mean, I don't know how Harrison and Justin are doing it.
No, I tell you, it's as much as I miss it, I remember during the summer, I would be missing it. So I would go watch y'all practice sometimes when I was in Tallahassee. And when I was on the way to the gym, I'm like, man, I miss it. Like, maybe I should try to think about a 6-year. And then I would be in the gym watching you guys running up and down, getting hit on box outs. And I was like, yeah, no, I made the right decision. Yeah, I wake up not in pain.
That's all it takes, is just to see somebody get just thrown across the paint by, Turk or somebody. And, that's all you need. And you're like, oh yeah, I would love to sit at a job.
Yeah, no, it's making the cubicle life seem a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah, but then as soon as you sit in a cubicle, you're gonna be like, oh my God.
Oh no, I'm gonna miss it. Everyone I've talked to that played college sports, they're like, you're gonna miss it the rest of your life.
This is the camaraderie of it.
Yeah,
like that's really, like, I think that's the biggest thing. Like, when I think back on teams, I never think about not never, but I very rarely think about the games. Like, maybe like there are moments, you know what I mean? Like, I'll never forget Pat's dunk and Trent's dunk. Jordan Nwora career ended, but I'll never forget those things. Like, those are moments that, like, we'll talk about, but like, I remember them because of the team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the team was like, it was so wild, and everybody's going like this, and the whole, like, tapping their head, and then the whole crowd is doing it. And I'm like, after we kind of calm down a little bit, and like, I'm just like looking around, the whole team's going like, tapping their head, and then the crowd, it's just, those are the memories. Like, and then off the court is really like what I remember the most.
Yeah, just going out to eat with your teammates. It's going to, fun station, riding around on go-karts with the team, stuff like that. It's rare because you see some people, maybe they're in a school club or a fraternity or sorority, something like that, and they're like, oh, this is a brotherhood. But they don't spend the amount of time that we spent together under high pressure situations.
Yeah.
That's how you really mold a group. Like the circumstances we were under, like when we were in Notre Dame and we're waiting for the plane till 3 a.m. getting yelled at by the coaches because we just completely laid an egg and lost that game. Like that, you can't bond more than that.
Yeah, there's nothing that brings a group together than getting yelled at.
Shared misery for sure.
There's something to it. There's something to shared misery that just pulls one another close.
It's like the whole Army boot camp strategy. It's just like you make it miserable for everyone, and the people that stay on are best friends for life and have complete trust in each other.
Yeah, hopefully we don't share too much misery.
Yeah, no, it wasn't as bad. Yeah.
But that just happened to be one of our low moments of the year.
Yeah,
everyone was absolutely exhausted. We didn't know if we were going to get to go home, which we didn't end up going home, right? We were there for like 3 days, right?
Yeah, we were.
But see, the thing is okay. So this is what year was that? 2019.
This was my sophomore year. Your freshman year, right?
So was it? Yeah, no, I thought it was the year after that. I don't know.
BA was on the team though, wasn't he?
Oh, I don't know. Either way, it was either 2018, 2019, or 2019, 2020. It doesn't even matter. But what stands out about that is like what I remember from that is like us walking to the restaurant in the snow.
Yeah. No, same.
And like, guys getting pushed over on the side into the snow. Cause like, the reason why we were stuck there in the first place was like it had snowed like 3 feet of snow. So like, I don't know how to get, like, I know rain, I could look at like some rain and be like, okay, that's about like 6 inches of rain. I don't know snow. Like what is a lot of snow?
No, I have no clue.
Well, how do you measure? Do they measure it the same way? Whenever you see like, it snows, all of a sudden you got like a foot of snow. But like, is that the same everywhere?
I don't know. This is a Harry question. This is a Harrison Prieto question.
Dude, you know what? I've had more people. Actually, your podcast is the second most listened to podcast. The one we did in Harrison's apartment.
Yep.
When I think that was when like Corona first came out.
That was in the summer, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
When everything was on lockdown.
Yeah. But I've had, so yours is the second most, but then Harrison's was like 10th out of like 13. And the past like month, blew up. It's like in top 5 now.
Yeah,
Like,
I thought it would be just blowing up. But you talk to that man, and he will name you every single thing that you wonder about anything. He has the scientific formula to explain it.
dude, the craziest thing about it is that I've had people come up to me and be like, and say things like, "Oh man, I learned so much about weather that I didn't want to learn."
Yeah,
but I now know it.
welcome to the club. Like,
Yeah.
we know so much about clouds and hurricane formations that we never really asked, but Harry was there and told us anyways.
Oh, dude, he was telling me the other day. Now I cannot. I'm not even gonna try to say what he was saying. I'm not even gonna like attempt it. But the other day, like we were talking about like how to tell which way like a storm is moving and if it's gonna be like hot or cold or something. And like he explained it like Harrison often does, which is in way too much detail. And then I was like, he could see that I was like sitting there with the dumbest look on my face of all time. We're standing in the parking lot, like looking up at the sky, like looking like some idiots. And then he was like, okay, if the clouds are really high and moving in that direction, then the storm will like they'll be going there. But if like the clouds are really low and moving the direction, then the storm will be going opposite. And I was like, okay, like but he had to put it in like basically like just dumb it down. Like I was like, dude, like you have to talk to me like I'm a 4-year-old. Like when it comes to that stuff. But
Yeah.
When I was golfing with Austin, which I did a vlog of, he was like he was like, it smells like, and then said the name of like what rain smells like, because like I grew up in Florida, so I know when it's about to rain, whether even if it's like completely blue skies.
It's Floridian superpower.
Yeah, if it's blue skies, like I'm like, okay, yeah, it's about to rain. Like, but I never knew that there was an actual smell to it. Now, if I had someone helping me, I could be like Joe Rogan. I could be like, hey, look that up. But I'm poor and I don't. So
we got cats.
We have
Cats,
we have a lot of
cats and dogs.
Cats. It's raining cats and dogs.
Yeah, literally.
In this house. It's actually been incredibly quiet. I'm actually amazed that he's not snoring really loud. Which I mean, really, like you would be able to hear it clear as day if he was snoring. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he gave us a sample earlier.
I mean,
the floor was shaking.
Yeah, they haven't knocked over a light. It's been blissful so far. Knock on wood. But I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, awesome. But he said the name of the rain, like of the smell that comes before rain, and I was like, "Did you hear that on Harrison's podcast?" And he was like, "Yeah, I did." And I was like, "Hey,
Yep.
All right, we're doing good work out here." But I don't even know how we got on this subject. It's what happens when you don't have anything to ask. Or anything written down.
Are we just going up for it? It's just
yeah.
top of the dome.
Off the dome. I'm gonna start spitting.
Okay.
Right,
well, it's been fun. I mean, yeah, it's a good interview.
Well, we talked about weather that we don't know anything about.
Yeah, we basically talked about just Harrison.
Yeah. Just talked about Harry, and now we're gonna sign off.
All right. Well, let me hear. I'll play you for a second. Let me ask you, what do you think about this year's team and where y'all can go this year?
Good question. That's why I have you on here. What do I think about this year's team? We're young, obviously. I mean, everyone knows that. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you that. But we're gonna be good. You know, I think our system is really hard to play against, and I think we have the talent. And I think we have the mental fortitude to be really good. It's just, how long is it going to take us? I mean, that's always the question with any team, but especially a young team. Like, how long is it going to take us to be really good? Like no team is perfect, but how long is it going to take us to be close to it? You know, we want to be perfect, but how long is it going to be till we get close to perfect? You know, so I mean, that's a big question. I don't think anyone can answer that. Like, I mean, I play on the team, and I can't answer that. You know, I mean, maybe the coaches have a better idea than I do. You got to ask them, shoot them an email or something. But but I think in terms of talent and basketball IQ, I think this is going to be one of our best teams in terms of those things. Now, there's a million different things that, as you know, there's a million different things that can happen, like God forbid there's injuries, things like that. Guys have to take on new roles. That's every season. You know what I mean? So it's really just, I think we're going to be really good.
It's almost like, every team's going to have injuries. Every team's going to have, bad games, letdowns, stuff like that. It's almost the most flexible team every year is going to have. It's all an odds game. You try to give yourself the best odds to win the tournament. Like the higher seed, you're playing with better odds.
Yeah.
And so the more flexible you are during the season to go over those hiccups, the better odds you're going to stack. And then even in March Madness, people say like, oh, the best team won this year. Like, yeah, maybe they did, but they also got lucky.
Yeah.
You cannot win it without getting some type of probability luck in your favor.
Yeah. Well, you could say that Gonzaga got lucky in their overtime game.
Yeah.
In the Final Four to get to the championship.
UCLA could have easily beaten them.
And you could say that Baylor got lucky that Gonzaga had to play an overtime game.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly.
Like, you could talk about emotional. Look, you're in the Final Four, about to go to the national championship. You're 1 seed. Like, you pull it out at the very end after a really, really, really hard fought game. UCLA
by a
so
running
well.
3-point bank shot.
Yeah. And then, speaking of the devil, there's my mother. She's not the devil, don't worry. Unfortunately, can't answer that one. But and then they go play, Baylor, who was just an athletic marvel. Baylor just, they dogged them all game.
Baylor was really, really good. Know who Baylor reminded me of? Baylor reminded me of our team 2 years ago when Corona ended our season.
Yeah. Like,
just, you talk about so many weapons, but somehow play super cohesively and share the ball.
Yeah. And
defensively.
And physical.
Yeah, very physical.
So physical.
Vital, what was that guy's name?
Yeah, Mark Vital.
Yeah, something like that.
I think it's Mark. Yeah, I think he was playing in the summer league. But yeah, they were all, even their guards. I think they basically came in and they were like, we're gonna take the fouls early. I think Milwaukee did the same thing in the NBA championship. I think they came in there but I think obviously with one game, it's a little bit different than a series. But Baylor came in, they were like, we're gonna bully them, and if we lose because the refs foul us out, all right. But they're not gonna do that because no one does that in a championship. The refs are not gonna. The most physical team often wins in a championship game because the refs aren't going to sit there and dictate the entire the course of the game.
Gonzaga just didn't really have a physical team either. They had probably one of the best skilled teams in the last decade, at least. But they weren't physically dominant. Yeah. They were just so much better skilled and well run than any other team.
Yeah, well, you saw by the end of the game that they were hanging around the 3-point line. They were no longer getting in the paint.
Yeah. No, I didn't notice that.
And when that happens, it's a pretty obvious sign that, one of the teams was far more physical. I think with Milwaukee, and I've talked about this before, but I think I saw it. Like they were down 10 and I think like game 3 or 4, I can't remember, but they basically were just like, all right, that's it. Like Devin Booker's no longer going to get layups. Like Chris Paul's not getting in the paint anymore. We're going to hand check everybody. When they do get in the paint, we're going to body them. Like they're not going to get a single offensive rebound, and we're going to get 10, 15 a game. From now on, we're going to make the refs decide it.
Well, it's amazing in basketball too. This was like the old Virginia Tech's strategy when they had not the current coach they have, but the guy before.
Buzz.
Yeah. And their whole strategy was just foul the whole game. And the refs, you almost get used to it as a ref. You're like, okay, well, if they're playing really physical, it must be because the other team's playing physical. So I'm just going to play with the flow. It's like when you're speeding in traffic, like you're on I-4 or a highway or something, and there's a bunch of cars speeding by you. and you might be speeding, you might go by a police officer, but you're going with the flow of traffic.
Yeah.
So like nothing happens. It's the exact same principle where like the refs are like, okay, I'm going to let this play out because both teams must be doing it. But really it's just one team bullying the other team.
That was a heck of an analogy.
It's a big analogy day.
That was really good.
Thanks.
That was really good. Yeah. And what I thought was really interesting about it was a lot of times you see NBA teams that when a team goes small, the other team tries to go small. Milwaukee
strong suit.
went the opposite. Milwaukee was like, oh, you're going small? Oh, we're going to go as big as we possibly can.
And Milwaukee was big. They had
big.
like their wingspan. They must have set like a record.
It had to have been an average of like a 7 foot.
Yeah.
Like an average. I mean, Drew Holiday can't be much under 7 feet.
No.
So I mean, and he's probably got the smallest wingspan.
He is so underrated.
Oh my God. Is he not? Good Lord. Like, there are not a whole lot of really, really good defensive players in the NBA anymore. It's just because the rules, you're basically playing straight up one-on-one defense. There's not really any help because if you do help, the court's so big, you just kick it out for a three. But that man was something else. I mean, the last person I saw defensively play like that in a finals was like Kawhi.
Yeah.
Like when Kawhi wanted to play, like first of all, I don't think there's anyone better defensively on earth than Kawhi when he's geared up. Like when Kawhi's like, all right, this guy's not going to score. I don't think there's anyone better. But Drew was close. You know what I mean? Like he game in and game out too. Like that was the thing. Like he was on it, game in and game out. And it was just fun to watch, And what I would see was just like by the end of the game, Devin Booker was taking pull-ups instead of going to the bucket because every single time he drove, he was hitting the floor. Every time he was getting hand checked the entire way, and then Brook Lopez or Chris Middleton or Giannis would contest a shot and knock him on the floor every single time. And whether you make the conscious decision or not, by the end of a game, you're not going to want to go in there.
Yeah. No, most of the time it's not even a conscious decision.
Yeah.
You just learn.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make it through this whole game if I'm getting beat up.
You just stop going.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing with the ACC. Like everyone talks about like how the Big Ten is so like tough and rough and tumble and things like that. But like in my opinion, like the ACC isn't like so in your face about it, but it's like little things. It's like
you get away with a lot.
You get away like the refs in the ACC like allow certain things that I think the Big Ten doesn't. Like they allow a lot more hand checking. Like when you drive, a lot more. Like
I'd say Big Ten's probably more physical for the bigs.
Yeah,
and they're much more throw it into the center.
Yeah,
pound.
Like the Big Ten's never called a hook and hold.
No,
in their life.
Yeah, no.
It's never been done.
But guards, they'll call that stuff on them.
Yeah,
but ACC though, they treat the guards almost like the NBA.
Yeah. They'll let you get away with a one hand check. If you got that other hand up, most of the time you're gonna be all right. Especially for the first or second dribble, they're gonna give it to you. And then after that, you can pretty much just like as long as you put that other hand, put both hands up after that second dribble. Yeah, I mean you can pretty much just hip check the crap out of them until they, it's just like, hey, either you pass or you throw a bad shot. That's one thing I think that's huge. Like whenever we would play Big Ten teams, like Big Ten doesn't allow that as much. So it's like you kind of have to like adjust, especially like if you have ACC refs, then you're like, okay, all right, like they're like I know how they're gonna ref. But Big Ten, it's different. So it's like then all of a sudden the bigs have to be far more physical, and then the guards you got to play a little bit more straight up. Like you can't try to dictate where that guard's gonna drive. And it's just kind of interesting, to see the difference between how different conferences are reffed.
Yeah,
I don't really notice it with other conferences really as much besides the Big Ten. Like I think the Big Ten and the ACC are two, like I would say the two conferences where they have like a certain style of play more than any other, I think.
Yeah, you can make a case too that they're the best two conferences.
Yeah,
in the country. I mean, like everyone else, there's a couple other ones that are close, but those two generally have the most high